On my way. Give me a couple. Should be okay. Give me a quick second.
We're starting on time, just so everybody knows.
Okay.
5 seconds.
Okay, and we're ready to begin. Bar is loaded to 15 kilos. This will be a first attempt for Callista McLean from Team Mac. Athlete is in view and clock has started. That's a good lift for Callista. Waiting on change. Athlete is moving up.
Is that okay like that, Amanda, to declare it like that?
Yep, that's fine.
Okay, thanks.
Did that go through?
I
Nope.
did not see it.
There we go.
So no, that's her first attempt now. So you'll have to.
Well, that.
Oh.
Yeah. So her first attempt was 15. That was a good lift. So
okay.
Yeah, you'll have to fix that and then enter 18 as a second attempt.
Okay, so I'm actually, oh, I see what I did. Okay, so 15. Change 2 is 18?
18.
That's in the second.
Second attempt, yep.
Okay. I think I've got that. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yep. All right, 18 is loaded. Athlete is in view. Clock has started.
Oh, wait.
This still says 15.
Yeah, I see that.
That's okay. Let's do the lift and then you can manually edit it.
Let me, I'll fix it.
Was I going to change 2 or was it supposed to go across?
Sorry. Okay. And that's a good lift for Callista. Waiting on change.
You just close the window.
Who are you talking to?
Linda.
Okay.
Yeah, so Linda, you just have to make sure that you don't have the athlete's window open while they're lifting. So you have to wait until the lift is complete, then click their window. Because if you have that window open, it'll override.
Okay.
Okay, I'm on.
So I wait till they're done their lift.
Yeah, so now open the window.
Okay.
The automatic increase is 19 kilos, but a change just came in. Athlete's moving to 21.
Okay. Update.
There was also a change in the chat. I don't know if you guys got it.
Yeah, that was, okay. I got it.
Good.
Okay, Amanda, I got my buttons ready.
Okay, Amanda,
okay, awesome. 21 kilos is loaded. Athlete is in view. Clock has begun. 2 minutes on the clock for Callista. Third attempt in snatch. Charlene, get ready. Jay, can you tilt the camera down a little bit? Thank you. Yep, that's good. That's a no lift for Callista. Bar moves to 32 kilos. This will bring out Charlene from Kapuskasing weightlifting. Athlete is in view. Clock has started. And that's a good lift for Charlene. Bar goes to 33 as the automatic increase, waiting on change for Charlene. Charlene's moving to 34.
Oops. Whoops. Give me a second.
Yep.
I'm putting it under declaration, right? For snatch 2, just to make sure.
First one. Yeah.
Yeah.
34.
Okay, athletes in view. Clock should be starting.
Clock has not started until the change goes through. 34 is in, and clock has started. 2 minutes for Charlene. Second attempt. I can't start the clock until the marshal enters.
That's true.
Sorry about that, guys.
That's okay. That's not your fault. We're just trying to sort out who's doing what.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll need a break. It's going pretty slow.
Yeah. Okay, so a note to all athletes and coaches, there'll be no break between snatch and clean and jerk. That's a good lift for Charlene. Bar moves to 35 with the automatic increase, waiting on change for Charlene. Heather Amundred, you're the next lifter. Charlene is declaring 35 kilos. Clock begins. 2 minutes on the clock for Charlene. Where's that coming from, Mike?
Mine.
Okay.
Is that cool or not cool?
Yeah, I like it. It's
Okay.
helpful.
That's cool.
Good fight, and that's a good lift for Charlene. Bar moves to 40 kilos. This will bring out Heather Mundred's first attempt. Athlete is in view. Clock has started. That's no lift for Heather. Bar remains at 40 kilos. Waiting on change. Nope, sorry. Bar remains at 40 kilos. Change of athlete. Brianna Anderson is in view. Clock begins for Brianna. First attempt.
Can't get rid of that message.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good lift for Brianna. 40 kilos remains. This brings back Heather for her second attempt. Athlete is in view. Clock begins on Heather. Second attempt, 40 kilos. You gotta mute that chat somehow. That's a good lift for Heather. Bar moves to 41 automatically, waiting on change. Heather's moving to 45. This brings out Ruth from Norsemen and Valkyries. 43 kilos. Athlete is in view. Clock begins for Ruth.
Bar right up against your shins. Hold it. Wait. Down.
Good lift for Ruth. Bar remains at 43 kilos. This will bring back Brianna Anderson for a second attempt. Brianna is in view. Clock begins. That's a good lift for Brianna. Bar moves to 44 with the automatic increase, waiting on change for Brianna. Brianna's moving to 45 kilos. This will bring back Heather Mundred for her third and final attempt, 45 kilos. Athlete is in view. Clock begins on Heather. That's a good lift for Heather. Bar remains at 45 kilos. This will bring back Brianna Anderson for her third attempt. Athlete is in view. Clock begins for Brianna. That's a good lift for Brianna. Mike, I wonder if you can slide the chat on the menu bar so that it's not directly under the lifter, maybe?
Yeah.
46 kilos is on the bar. This will bring back Ruth Schuenor from Norsemen and Valkyries for her second attempt. Athlete is in view. Clock begins for Ruth.
Good fingers right up against your shins. Hold it. Hold it. Right. Down.
Crazy save, and that's a good lift for Ruth. Bar moves to 47 kilos automatically, waiting on change. Ruth is moving up. This will bring out Gwen Dutrazak from Golly's Performance Center for her first attempt. Athlete is in view. Clock begins for Ruth. That's a good lift for Gwen. Sorry, I said Ruth. 49 is the automatic increase. Sorry, bar remains at 48 kilos. This will bring out Griffin LaMarche from Norseman and Valkyries for his first attempt. Athlete is in view. Clock begins for Griffin. Griffin's moving up. This will bring back Ruth.
Take a breath.
Ruth Shuanora is the next lifter. We need Ruth in screen.
What club is she from?
Norseman.
Norseman.
Ruth is in view. Clock begins, 48 kilos. Third attempt.
So from here, you're going to want 110.
Okay. That's a good lift for Ruth. Bar moves to 49 kilos. This will bring out Frances Hahn from Golly's Performance Center for her first attempt. Athletes in view, clock begins for Frances. That's a good lift for Frances. 50 kilos. This will bring out Griffin LaMarche from Norseman and Valkyries for his first attempt. Athletes in view. Clock begins for Griffin.
Oh, just the image of screen. Big pull, big catch. Let's go, buddy. Hold it. Down.
That's a good lift for Griffin. Bar remains at 50 kilos. This will bring back Gwen from Golly's Performance Center for her second attempt. Athletes in view. Clock begins. Oops. Sorry, give me 1 second. Sorry, guys, something's...
Yep, I can't click now.
Declaration might change.
Sorry, did I do something there?
Just
No,
hang
you-
tight. Just let
not
me-
I
sure.
have buttons to give you a good
Hang
note.
tight. Just relax. Hold on.
That was a good lift for Gwen.
Yeah.
Referees? Yep.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so we're going to greenlight that.
So do we go thumbs up, thumbs down then, or?
Yep, so that was a good lift for Gwen. Bar moves to 51 kilos with the automatic increase, waiting on change. Gwen's moving to 52. This will bring back Frances Hahn from Golly's Performance Center for her second attempt. Athletes in view. Clock has started. That's a good lift for Frances. Bar moves to 53 kilos. This will bring out Gwen. Sorry, bar remains at 52 kilos. This will bring back Gwen for her third attempt. Athletes in view. Clock begins for Gwen. That's a good lift for Gwen. 53 kilos. This will bring back Griffin LaMarche from Norsemen and Valkyries for his second attempt. Athletes in view. Clock begins for Griffin. That's a good lift for Griffin.
55, Griffin. Just put on the fives.
54 kilos. This will bring out Naza Grant for her first attempt. Athletes in view. Clock begins for Naza. That's a good lift. 55 kilos is the automatic increase. Lifter remains Naza, waiting on change. Athletes moving up. This will bring back Francis Hahn from Golly's Performance Center for a third attempt. Athletes in view. Clock begins for Francis. That's a good lift for Francis. Bar remains at 55 kilos. Griffin LaMarche is the lifter from Norsemen and Valkyries. Athletes in view. Clock begins for Griffin.
Three hits, finish your pull. Tall, tall, tall. Nice, buddy. Hold it. Down.
Good lift for Griffin. Bar moves to 57 kilos. Why did that not register? This will bring back Naza Grant for her second attempt. Athletes in view. Clock begins for Naza. That's a good lift for Naza. Bar moves to 58 kilos automatically, waiting on change. Athletes moving to 59 kilos. Lifter remains Naza. Clock begins. Two minutes on the clock for Naza. Next lifter is Emily Jin.
Ben, je peux-tu y aller dessus là? Oui? Ben, quand on parle, mais d'habitude, tu ne veux jamais aller là. Oh my gosh. Il reste une minute et demie. You have lots of time. Moi, je suis là. Ouais, avec un autre.
That's a good lift for Naza.
Yay!
Bar moves to 60 kilos. This will bring out Emily Jin for her first attempt. Athletes in view, clock begins for Emily.
All right, so clean and jerk, guys. Let's start warming up for that.
That's a good lift for Emily. Bar moves to 61 kilos automatically, waiting on change. Emily's moving to 63. She remains the lifter. She'll have 2 minutes on the clock. Clock begins for Emily. That's a good lift for Emily. 64 is the automatic increase, waiting on change. Athlete's moving to 66 kilos. She'll remain the lifter. 66 kilos has been declared. Clock begins for Emily on a third attempt, 2 minutes. Unfortunately, no lift for Emily. Bar moves to 94 kilos. This will bring out Cheng Zhu for first attempt. Athlete is in view, and clock begins for Cheng. That's a good start. Bar moves to 95 kilos with the automatic increase, waiting on change. Athlete's moving to 98 kilos. Change has been entered and clock begins for Cheng. 2 minutes on the clock. Reminder that there's no break between snatch and clean and jerk. That's a good lift for Chang. Bar moves to 99 kilos with the automatic increase, waiting on change. Athletes moving to 102. 102 is entered. Clock begins. Third attempt, Chang. Callista, get ready. Good fight, and that's a good lift for Chang. Nice job. Bar moves directly to 27 kilos for the opening clean and jerk of Callista from Team Mac. Athletes in view. Clock begins for Callista. That's a good lift for Callista. Bar moves to 28 kilos, waiting on change. Athletes moving to 30 kilos. Change has been entered. 2 minutes on the clock for Callista. Clock begins. That's a good lift for Callista. Bar moves to 31 kilos with the automatic increase, waiting on change. Athletes moving to 33 kilos. 33 kilos has been entered. Clock begins for Callista, 2 minutes. Charlene to follow. And that's a good lift for Callista by majority decision. Bar moves to 43 kilos to bring out Charlene from Kapuskasing weightlifting. Athletes in view. Clock begins for Charlene. That's a good lift for Charlene. Bar moves to 44 kilos, automatically waiting on change. Athletes moving to 45 kilos. 45 kilos has been entered. Clock begins. Athlete remains Charlene. 2 minutes. That's a good lift for Charlene. The bar will move to 46 kilos automatically, waiting on change. Bar is moving to 47. Athlete remains Charlene for a third attempt. 47's been entered and clock starts. 2 minutes for Charlene. Ruth will be the next lifter.
And I just wanted to mention, if everyone can stay on till the end, we'll just take like a group photo. But if you have somewhere to be, I guess you can bail. But if you have like a couple extra, like 15, 20 minutes, just hang around, take a picture.
That's a good lift for Charlene. Great job. Bar will move to 53 kilos. Let's bring out Ruth Schuenor from Norsemen and Valkyries for her first attempt. Athletes in view, and clock begins for Ruth.
Nice. Well done. Hold. Down.
First attempt for Ruth. Bar moves automatically to 54, waiting on change. Heather and Mundred to follow. Ruth is moving up. Let's bring out Heather at 55 kilos for her first attempt. Athletes in view. Clock begins for Heather. That's a good lift for Heather. 55 kilos remains. Athlete changes to Brianna Anderson for her first attempt. Athletes in view. Clock begins for Brianna. And that's a good lift for Brianna. 55 kilos. Pardon me, 56 kilos is the automatic increase for Brianna, waiting on change. Athletes moving up. This will bring out Ruth for her second attempt at 57 kilos. Athletes in view. Clock begins for Ruth. That's a good lift for Ruth. 58 kilos. This will bring back Brianna Anderson for her second attempt. Athletes in view. Clock begins for Brianna. That's a good lift for Brianna. 59 kilos is the automatic increase, waiting on change.
Oops.
Athletes moving up. Bar is loaded to 60 kilos. Let's bring back Heather Amundred for her second attempt. Athletes in view. Clock begins for Heather. That's a good lift for Heather. 60 kilos remains on the bar. Athlete will be Ruth Chouinard for her third attempt. Athletes in view. Clock begins for Ruth. Brianna, you're next. That's a good lift for Ruth. Bar remains at 60 kilos, so bring back Brianna Anderson for her third attempt. Athlete is in view, and clock begins. That's a good lift for Brianna. 61 kilos, please. Let's bring out Naza Grant for her first attempt. Athletes in view. Clock begins for Naza. That's a good lift for Naza. 62 kilos is the automatic increase, waiting on change.
Let him out, would you mind? Let him out.
Athletes moving up. $65 kilos is the weight on the bar. This will bring back Heather Amundred. Pardon me. This will bring out Griffin LaMarche for his first attempt. Griffin's in view. Clock begins. 65 kilos. That's a good lift for Griffin. 65 kilos remains on the bar. This will be a third and final attempt for Heather Amundred. Athletes in view. Clock begins for Heather. That's a good lift for Heather. 66 kilos. This will bring back Naza Grant For her second attempt, athletes in view. Clock begins for Naza. Gwen to follow. That's a good lift for Naza. 67 kilos is the automatic increase, waiting on change. Athletes moving up. This will bring out Gwen for her first attempt, 68 kilos. Athletes in view, clock begins for Gwen. That's a good lift for Gwen. Bar moves to 69 kilos. Pardon me. Bar remains at 68 kilos. So bring out Frances Hahn for her first attempt. Athletes in view, clock begins. That's a good lift for Frances. 69 kilos, waiting on change. Mike, can you fill in as ref if Lana has to leave?
Yep.
Okay. Lana, just let us know before you head out. Bar is at 69 kilos. Griffin LaMarche, second attempt. Athletes in view, and clock begins for Griffin.
Okay.
That's a good lift for Griffin. Bar moves to 70 kilos. This will bring back Gwen Dutrazak for her second attempt. Athletes in view, clock begins for Gwen. Naza to follow. That's a good lift for Gwen. Bar remains at 70 kilos. So bring out Naza Grant for her third attempt. Athletes in view, clock begins for Naza. That's a good lift for Naza, almost snatched it. Bar moves to 71 kilos. Let's bring back Griffin LaMarche for his third and final attempt. Athletes in view, clock begins for Griffin. Great job by Griffin. It's a good lift. 72 kilos is on the bar. Let's bring out Frances Hahn for her second attempt. Athletes in view. Clock begins for Frances. That's a good lift for Frances. Bar remains at 72 kilos. Let's bring out Frances' teammate, Gwen, for a third attempt. Athletes in view. Clock begins for Gwen. 1 minute on the clock. That's a good lift for Gwen. 74 kilos. Let's bring out Frances Hahn for her third attempt. Athlete remains in view. Clock begins for Frances, 74 kilos. Waiting on one referee. And that's a good lift.
You don't have to sass me.
It was a tie. 80 kilos is on the bar. This will bring out a first attempt for Emily Jin. Athletes in view and clock begins for Emily. That's a good lift for Emily. Bar moves to 81 automatically, waiting on change. Athletes moving to 85 kilos. Change has been made. 2 minutes on the clock for Emily begins. Down to our last two lifters of the session. That's a good lift for Emily. Bar moves to 86 kilos, waiting on change. Athletes moving to 90. Change has been made and clock begins. 2 minutes on the clock for Emily. Cheng, you get ready. That's a good lift for Emily. Great job. Bar moves to 119 kilos. Let's bring out Cheng Zhu for his first attempt. Athletes in view, and clock begins for Cheng. That's a good lift for Cheng. Bar moves to 120 kilos automatically, waiting on change. Athletes moving to 124. Change has been made and clock begins for Cheng. 2 minutes.
Oh.
That's a no lift for Cheng. He'll have 2 minutes on the clock.
$130. Go $130.
Athletes moving to 129. 129 has been declared and entered. Clock resumes. Cheng, third attempt.
Oh, that's what he had on there. This is a warm-up.
So close to having no misses in clean and jerk too. Gotta make this one, Cheng.
Oops.
Ah, no lift for Chang. Thank you, everybody.
If everyone can kind of get on, we'll take a little. Let me get this all. Okay, 3. Everybody there? Cauliflower. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Cheese. All right, thanks, guys. This helped us a lot.
Yes, thanks, guys. I'm going to send out a short survey in a couple minutes. If you can fill that out and let us know how we can improve. There'll be a couple changes before provincials, but we'll make sure that that's all in the regulations doc, just about verifying weights. But yeah, thanks. This was a great session.
Hey,
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks so much, guys.
thank you.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
The start number really worked well.
Yeah, that was easy.
I found that easiest. Yeah, instead of
Instead of
looking for the
names and
name.
stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And that way, and you can quickly like refer to it, you know, between the chat and the athlete's card. So I would suggest going with an athlete number, start number.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And I thought it was kind of tricky to, at first anyway, because I was ref and
Yeah, at the beginning, right? But then
to pause the lift, but then still give the lift a good, but you get into a rhythm.
A rhythm.
Yeah.
Who's supposed to do timer? Is it the marshal actually?
That's me.
Speaker.
Oh,
The speaker.
but oh, the speaker's supposed to do. Okay, all right. I wasn't sure if that was with the marshal or not. So okay, all right, cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I like having the scoreboard at the bottom, but I feel like it makes the athlete too small.
Yeah.
Like I'm watching it on my phone and
okay.
Oh my
like
god.
Even I think if it was on the laptop, I would have trouble seeing the athlete clearly.
It was pretty. It was on my tablet, and I found it fairly small. But I because I wanted to see the scoreboard. I like it just seemed so tiny compared to like it looked like this literally.
Yeah, I wonder if there's a way to remove.
Actually, personally, I find it fine. I mean, it's just me, right? My own feelings. I was fine. I have a wider screen, mind you.
Yeah.
And I've mentioned that earlier, but yeah, it went well on my side.
Yeah, maybe if you're just a referee, there might be a way to have it so that all you see is the athlete. Actually, there is. I can switch back and forth, I guess, between the scoreboard and the active athlete. Okay. So if I was just reffing, I would be able to see just that. But I was keeping that open to be able to read the scoreboard.
Yep.
I guess I could have just used OWLCMS to see who the next athlete was, and I did kind of screw that up a couple times. Looking at the scoreboard for the next lifter instead of the system.
Yeah.
So, but I was also reffing, so I guess if I was just doing speaker timer, then it wouldn't be a big deal.
There's a lot going on there.
That there was. And then use the system to track the next lifter.
Yeah, I liked the scoreboard though down there.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. I just wish that the
life.
athlete was a little bit bigger. Like, there's no way to expand them into full
We'll still
screen.
goof around. We'll goof around, but yeah.
And the other problem with that was that because the scoreboard was at the bottom, when the chat stuff pops up, it blocks the lifter in the center frame.
Well, I fixed that for the next one. Yeah.
Is there a way to mute it?
Well, I just put it on the side.
Oh yeah, you just open it up. But then you can see like all the private chats and stuff.
Yeah.
I guess it doesn't matter. But then that takes up even more space on the screen.
Yeah.
I feel like there's got to be a way to mute the chat somehow.
Yeah, I'll look around. I didn't want to goof around in the middle of a.
Yeah.
That's not a good idea, right?
We'll try again on Wednesday, just you and I, and we'll really try to fine tune it.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if we can do, for officials, we'll be doing like a verification meeting the day before anyway, but I wonder if we could do like a quick athlete list. I don't know. Just try logging into Zoom.
Yeah.
And OWLCMS at the same time, and I don't know.
Yeah, we can figure it out. We need to do something.
You have to try stuff, right? That's what this is about, really.
Yeah, like you're having issues with signing into Zoom, and you got it in the end, but I'm not sure what went right to make it happen.
It did not.
Like, are you on a cell phone right now? Why is your name
Me?
a bunch of numbers? Yeah.
No, I'm on my my laptop.
It's weird.
Oh, so this means you have a bunch of numbers you should be on your cell phone? Is that what that means?
I don't know.
If you're signing in on a phone, sometimes it'll have your phone number as your name.
No,
If you're not,
I
then-
just use a cell phone for the referee stuff, like the good lift battle lift. That's what I use it for.
Definitely a couple positions are better to have like two screens.
Yeah, I was going to suggest that actually, but that doesn't mean everybody can do that, right? I could, because I have two computers right beside me. There is the desktop, and I'm on my laptop, so I could do that actually personally.
Yeah.
Well, last week when I was reffing last week, I actually had my main computer, then my monitor, and I actually had for my buttons, I had my other tablet, and so that was that was two computers, but three screens, right?
The ref buttons are definitely easiest on a phone or something.
Yeah.
We just have to make sure, like, this is one session
But
that was probably an hour and a bit. But if we're running a competition for the entire day, like, you have to have your phone plugged in. Like, everything has to be plugged in, because, like, my phone's already at 60% battery. Like, if we did another session or something and I'm reffing back to back, then
could the buttons be set up on the laptop or not? I'm just curious.
That's what I was doing. I have them set up on a computer here.
That would be much easier, I think. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Wherever you want to open it, you can open it on.
I don't know.
Well, you have to be. You have to know how to do it. That's my point.
No,
it's the same thing. It's just the same link. Yeah, except I think you have to click. Don't you have to click?
You have to click anything. You just have to open it.
Okay.
It's
all
the
right.
exact same.
Well, I'll see you next time.
No, but I mean, like, if you open the ref buttons in a browser, you then have to physically click on good lift, bad lift.
Yeah. I don't mind it.
Yeah. Obviously.
Right, there's no keyboard shortcut or anything.
The cell phone was fine. This is the first time I've used the cell phone for this kind of stuff, right? I have a problem with it.
Yeah.
But we can always iron out the, so to speak, not the mistakes, but what could be done better or improve on what we've done today.
Yeah.
I'm open for just about anything.
Yeah.
I think we're ready though. I think this was a good
yeah, it went pretty well. I'm pretty impressed with that personally.
I don't know. I think we're just gonna have to leave enough time, because we're gonna run into technical issues. And additionally, like, if we have to verify every single attempt, we're gonna need the session time for it. Like, we can't, if we run behind, then we can't just, like, we're not gonna have overlapping sessions. So the Zoom controller needs to be, like, if I'm going to be helping weigh-ins and controlling admissions into weigh-ins and then doing the next session, that's fine. But if they're supposed to be happening at the same time, then people are just going to be waiting.
No, we'll have to work on that. We'll have to figure that out.
Because the thing is, like, nobody's stuck at a competition. So everybody's just at home. Like, if we're 15 minutes ahead of schedule, it's totally fine. You can go and get a coffee or whatever, and you're in your own home. And it's not like, oh, I'm stuck here until 7 and then I have to drive.
Right.
Right. So it's a little less stressful if we're ahead of schedule. It's really stressful if we're behind schedule, because we have so many technical elements to figure out.
Yeah.
Like, if for example, Daniel was the weigh-in official and we couldn't get him in and we're behind, we have to figure that out. Like, at least if we have a little bit of a buffer, we have some time to make sure that everybody's where they should be. And the schedule isn't so packed. Like we're not going to have 100 athletes doing this. We're going to have at most like 70 athletes.
Yeah.
The prelim schedule, we might not even have that very last session. Like we might only have 2 female sessions. I don't think it's going to be, and it moves fast.
Yep, I agree with that.
Like we're only talking an hour and a half for a 10 or 11 session, athlete session.
That's
like this was 11 athletes.
It's not too bad.
And we had a couple following themselves at the beginning and the end, which probably would be less likely to happen in an actual provincial session because everybody would be more closely matched. And we're still not at 130, but I think that verifying the attempts is going to take a couple extra minutes by the end of the session.
Yeah, but we just also have to be respectful of everyone's time. We can't go until 10 o'clock at night. Like we have to do both.
Yeah, like the last session,
we can't go that
with this extra time, with no overlapping sessions, ends at 7. But we also need to be sure that like athletes need to know exactly when they start because they're potentially booking gyms, right? It's not like they're just at the competition all day, so whenever they start is whenever they start. Like if I was lifting and I'm telling Radix, hey, I need the gym open from this time to this time, and then my session's an hour late, you might be out of luck. I totally get what you're saying.
We have to balance both.
We need to not just stretch it out all day for the sake of.
Because right now it's for like.
Are we like behind?
People,
Are we behind or right on time?
It's 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Like that's way, way, way too long. So we have to figure out how to cut that down.
Right.
We can't have 2 days of 12 hours or we won't have any volunteers.
No. Not on a screenshot.
Like we might have to overlap the weigh-ins. Like you and I split up. We have to do both. We have to add more time and figure out how to do weigh-ins while we're still lifting. That's too long. We can't do that. It's too long. We're asking too much of people to go that long.
But who are we asking that of?
Everyone that's volunteering. What if you had what if you had an athlete in almost every session? You would have to book your gym for like 24 hours. That's way too long.
Yeah.
Like we both have to meet in the middle. We have to add more time to the sessions.
Yeah.
And kind of like we don't have to overlap totally like the weigh-ins. We could just overlap them a little bit or something.
Okay. Yeah, we just need to be super organized. I need to be more organized with links and stuff so that everybody just keeps it super simple. Like this is the link that you need to click at this time.
Yep.
And figure all that stuff out so that we have as few technical issues as possible.
With today, like I was having trouble like just connecting into the weigh-in room, and last week it was so easy. I don't like. What do you know, Amanda? What happened?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But I was in the waiting room.
Oh, yeah. I think that was the issue. Was that you were in the weigh-in? You were just in the waiting room.
Okay. Well, I wasn't last week. Was it because I was in? I registered before Q2. Is it?
No, that was just because I let you in right away. So in this case, I didn't know it was you because it just said LE, and I didn't clue in to that it's Linda. So I didn't admit you, thinking potentially you were an athlete.
Okay.
So yeah, the only reason that you waited this morning is because I didn't admit you right away. And last week I just saw you and then you were first in.
Like that's gonna be super important too. Everyone's got to change their names.
Yeah.
And if you are, I don't know, if you're a club, see the tricky thing is, say Battlefield had 2 lifters lifting in person at Battlefield, but I'm lifting remotely, but I'm also a Battlefield athlete.
Yeah.
You're going to have to keep track of like, there are 2 athletes and they're going to show up as Battlefield, but I don't necessarily know that before the weigh-in start.
Yep.
And then there's one athlete who's also a Battlefield athlete, but they're just by themselves weighing in somewhere else.
Yeah.
Couldn't you just do Battlefield 1 or Battlefield Coach or Battlefield?
Yeah, but then the problem is like the Battlefield location has multiple athletes weighing in. So you can't.
Tricky. Yeah, it'll be tricky.
Yeah, you'll have to put them in back into the weigh-in room. That's why I'm like, one of us needs to be doing weigh-ins.
Yeah. Yep. 100%.
Like one of you two. Yeah.
We have a lot of officials who have done this actually. like we have you, Linda, and Dan, Daniel Robitaille, Mark Gomes, Francois, Sarah, Lana, Laura, Mike, and me. I think that's it.
Well, it's a good start.
10.
Yep.
10
I'm feeling
officials.
good actually
But
about
if
it.
we want a backup for every session.
And this actually would increase well, I'm just saying, right? When we're back to normal, hopefully soon, let's say like for next year, if the Zoom stuff could keep going on, let's say a referee would love to go at a place where you just can't make it, we could do it from home. Would that be possible or not?
Nah.
I'm just curious, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah, probably not, because then we
No?
would have like 2 physical referees pressing actual buttons, and then
Okay.
instead
Probably
of
too
one laptop
confusing.
with
Okay.
with your head and facing the athlete. I don't know.
Okay. No, I was just curious about that. That's all.
Yeah, it's a good idea. It's a cool idea.
It's organizing, being organized like between you and I is gonna be really double
Yeah,
checking, like even double checking all the links, double checking all the.
yeah. Oh, one thing I made a note of is I think we shouldn't do waiting on change. Your automatic increase should load right away. Like your clock should start. If you aren't the next lifter, then that clock goes away anyway when the lifter changes. If you are the next lifter, your 2 minutes starts as soon as you're done your first attempt, because then we had the issue of like, we're waiting on Cheng's change. He's busy loading his next
Yeah,
weight,
that's
and
the
he
problem,
hasn't
right?
made the change. And then when he feels like it, he comes over and makes a change. I don't think he was doing that on purpose, but like, we can't wait around for someone to enter. Like the bar just goes automatically.
Yeah, but as an athlete and you just did 101 clean and jerk, are you gonna be cool with 30 seconds less to go for 103? Like when you're like,
It's not 30
totally
seconds
fast.
less. It's like as soon as you're done, you enter your change right away, and then you load your bar, or you have someone loading your bar while you
For
make
you.
the change.
Yeah.
Like you need to figure it out, and then that becomes like you need to expect that.
It's like a regular meet, let's face it. It's the same
Yeah.
idea.
Like we're
Super
changing
fast,
the
yeah.
technical rules.
Yeah. I'm cool with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like it as an athlete. I would like that extra 10 seconds where I'm
Because
allowed.
then I'm like, the bar automatically goes to 61. We're waiting on a change.
Yeah.
When really the bar goes to 61 and they have to make the first change within the first 15 seconds.
30 seconds.
Right? Like their automatic increase is their declaration. And they either confirm it or they move up. Is that right?
I guess, yeah, then we can pause the clock when we see them typing, let them type, and then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. And then like you're gonna have 2 minutes between your attempts. If you're following yourself, don't make an 8 kilo jump, or be ready for it.
That makes sense. Okay. Let's make sure we change that in all the.
Yeah, it's got to be changed, obviously.
Yeah. Like coaches take advantage of the time that it takes to load a bar, and that becomes part of your strategy.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, you just
It's
have to
changed.
Make that part of your strategy, that there is no
Yep, that's just the way it is.
waiting for you to enter your weight change.
I did
Like
have,
if you weren't the next lifter, then it
doesn't
doesn't even matter.
no.
But then it keeps it consistent the entire time, because some athletes, you're just up right away. And then if you happen to be following yourself, we're just going to wait for you.
So we're going to say good lift, automatic increase, clock started.
Yeah.
Like
there's no loading time for anyone.
Okay. I'm in.
That keeps it more fair, I think.
Yeah, the more I think about it, the more it makes sense.
Yeah.
And
then just keeps it
we can
simple.
still pause it when they come. So we see them typing.
Okay, yeah.
We'll automatically pause it. We do have to.
Yeah.
Sure.
There were some athletes who were, like putting in their numbers while other athletes were,
like Cheng was one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah.
I was able to put his numbers in, and we didn't have to wait around once he got up there, right?
I mean,
and they still have 3 changes. Like when I did the online comp, I followed myself. I made my second lift, And then I went ahead and entered my first declaration, which I was not going to take, loaded my bar while they entered that first declaration. I loaded my bar to what I actually wanted to lift. And then I still made 2 changes and had that little bit of a break while they like paused.
And were you okay with that?
For the change.
Did you make the lift?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, good.
So you were okay with that, yeah?
Sorry?
You were okay with that? That went well?
I thought it was fine. It's just like training, right?
Yeah, true enough.
Like
but
in training, you load your own bar, and then I mean, unless you're making a huge jump, like you should be pretty used to moving on a 2-minute clock.
I believe so.
Clean and jerk was like,
or if they're really, really,
but by that point in the competition, you know the flow of it.
But if you're really going to go heavy, I mean, you might as well, if you have a coach, you'd think the athlete would bring their coach, right?
Yeah. Like I could have had someone enter the change
or somebody,
and load the bar for me, and then I could have sat for 2 minutes.
There's from time to time you'll have an athlete that goes at a certain weight, and then in order to get the next change over, you have to change one big plate, put another big plate on. So it takes a bit more time, right? But it's not everybody does that, but sometimes it happens. So
yeah, I mean, like these athletes, if you're following yourself, you know what your second attempt is actually going to be.
Yeah,
like you're not thinking
you get it ready
and wondering if you should go this way or this way. You already know what it's going to be.
Yeah.
So then you can just buy your time by entering your weight changes, but already have your bar loaded to what you want.
Get it ready to go. The plate's close
by. You don't
by.
have to load the bar, make the change, load the bar, make the change. You only load the bar.
It doesn't take that long to load a bar. Let's face it.
But someone else could be doing that for you.
Yeah. Hopefully that's the case, right?
What about not following the loading standards too? Like Chang didn't follow the loading standards for his 120. Like,
yeah, I didn't even notice.
I didn't find that a problem.
We didn't verify the weight, and the athlete was really small, so I couldn't see their bar anyway.
But it didn't bother me. Like I think that's
no. I mean, the weight's
the
weight.
If wants to go 75 to 80, they can just put the 10s on instead of like stripping the bar down to nothing.
Yeah.
But I mean, if we're not requiring competition loading, then athletes are going to be doing that anyway, and every attempt is going to look different. So we need to verify the weight. But like some athletes, I could barely even see. They're just like a fuzzy little stick figure. Like I couldn't see. I honestly did not look at the weight on the bar in any attempt. I just assumed that whatever they said is what was actually on the bar.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
we're going to verify though. We're going to do what New Brunswick did.
How did they do it?
So they rotated before every lift. The athlete had to rotate their bars so that we could see the corner, and then they.
Okay.
Okay, but then the issue becomes like, who verifies that? All 3 referees have to agree that that weight is what's on the bar.
Yeah.
So like, who is doing the check, and then like, what if the athlete's 12 feet, 3 meters or something from the camera? Like I can't see it.
No, we'll have to figure that out. We'll have to during that time between weigh-in and competition, we'll have an extra hour. We'll have to make sure that all the camera angles are good. We'll have a big verification process.
Okay.
I don't think it's gonna be that hard. New Brunswick's like said that it only added a little bit of time.
How long was their competition though?
It was
how many?
They did like 80 people or something. No, 50, I think. 50.
Oh, okay. Because that will make the difference too, right? Like, and how fast we verify it.
Yeah.
But like, we have to decide who makes that call.
Center judge. We'll use the IWF rules. That's usually what it is.
But aren't we all center judge though?
Yeah, we'll pick someone.
Would that be someone? Let's say, would that be judge number 1 then?
No, judge number 2 is also technical controller. Which that would be the standard. Then we're not changing anything. That's the normal standard. That's normal.
That sounds fine.
Yeah.
But if you're loading in pounds, it doesn't. How are you going to face everything? All the plates look different.
Yeah, we're not going to allow pounds. It has to be in kilos. But you can put whatever you want.
I mean, I don't know. We'll figure it out, obviously. But...
I'm good. Cool.
Am I too?
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Amanda. Everybody else.
Yeah.
We'll see you later, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.